Hey. Today I'm checking out Manus.ai and Genspark.ai, two tools that are getting a lot of buzz at the moment. They're being called general purpose agents. I want to see if that's true. So I went a little deep this weekend. I immediately paid for the full license because you can't test these tools on free, and there is no point in just making your judgment on the kind of pre-recorded stuff that the companies themselves put out. So are they doing things for me? Are they just giving me another way to do what I do myself? Let's find out, shall we? So let's have a look first at Manus.ai. Here it is, Manus.ai, all the buzz. You had to get onto a wait list. I got my invite last week, so I spent a bit of time with it this weekend. Do I like Manus? Absolutely, I really like Manus. I immediately put my hand in for my corporate credit card and I tapped in those details because I just didn't want to stay on the free. I wanted to give this a proper run for its money. The very first thing I put in was a LinkedIn strategy plan. I always kind of run the same kind of prompt when I'm starting out with new tools because I know the kind of answer that I deem to be quality and I wanted to see what it would give me. So the first thing I thought was quite good. I gave it a small little short briefing and I updated some data. It came back with some questions about the audience, very intelligent questions, I have to say. I gave them some answers and away it went. So as you can see, it analysed the data that I provided. It worked its way through the files. It looked at different tabs. Then it went off and it analysed other metrics, key metrics. Looked up best practice for the kind of similar companies to our own, looked up several different websites and so on. So it was formulating an idea and then it started working on our strategy, okay? So it came up with the strategy, gave me a detailed strategy doc, a content calendar, all in separate files. Now, I thought this is very, very cool. It took about maybe, I think about 15-20 minutes. I looked at the LinkedIn strategy doc and it was okay. Probably a little bit scanty, just taking a little while to load here. The engagement strategy was very obvious and it was talking about engaging in groups and just general generic things. It wasn't really very much targeted to a company like ourselves. The content strategy, again, kind of gave us some themes to look at. And then other files in the pack, which I thought were really cool, was it gave us a content calendar. So literally it broke down the next couple of months by what kind of posts we need to make, whether it should be a video, whether it should be a podcast snippet, and what the content idea is. That is great. I really liked that. So other things I got Manus to do. So as you can see, I did the first one, and then I did about 6 different prompts and use cases in the first day because I was finding it helpful. So then at the weekend, I sat down and I asked it to do a lesson plan. So basically, in our courses, the first week always starts off with introducing the large language model universe and how prompts are made and different kind of prompt structures. And what I've been feeling lately is that with the advent of reasoning tools and so on and all the additional features that are coming, I've been adding on bits to it, and I wanted to completely and dramatically rethink the entire thing and, come in with something fresh that is as of now. So I gave it a prompt. And I said, right, I want you to do this for me, help me make a lesson plan, group of professional learners, and I said what I wanted them to do. So it went off, it did this, a pretty good job, but what it did was I asked it for a practical exercise that will come in after 18 minutes, because that's one of the things, all of our courses have people's hands on the keyboards in the first 20 minutes. And I went and it did the exercise first and then put the material around it, which I think is a fail because you should have had the material first and then make the exercise fall out of that. It was just very perfunctory is the word I would use. It asked me if I wanted to get a website made of the work it had done, which I said, yeah, why not? And it gave me this. Now this is kind of nice looking. Okay, we've got our learning objectives. Yeah, it's all good. Breaks the session down by time. Yeah, that's all good. Quite nice. Don't like the last bit here. So I would actually rerun that with our own branding. It's good, but there's a lot more work from me required to get it up to the standards that we're used to. But it is a good attempt. It gave me a better outcome quicker than if I was starting out just doing with prompts. So for that, I do like Manus and I think it's got great potential. Now, I also want to show you Genspark Super Agent, it's known as. So Genspark, it's like a kind of a wrapper, like the way Manus is, and I think wrapper is a term that's used very negatively. What I mean is that it brings together the best components. It's got Claude artifact style visualizations, but it's also got image creation. It's got really good responses to text prompts. It's got deep research. That is a fantastic tool. So let me have a look at what I got it to make for me. So all of their demo material is all basically planning a trip to San Diego. So what I got to do was, I'm going to Paris next week with 2 teenage boys, which is going to be great. So I said, help me plan a trip to Paris, kind of some vague stuff I wanted in with it. And one of the boys is an aviation enthusiast. So off it went, and it made a nice itinerary, and I got to go back and ask it questions about, you know, put in a few classic Paris things. What exhibition should we go? So in the olden days, I would have had to look these things up myself, you know, see what's on. Then I was able to ask it questions about, what are the reviews saying of those exhibitions that are on. I was asking it, you know, about pricing. So it did all of this, and it did quite a good job. It found some good ideas for teenagers, like a street art tour. So this was good. Showed me a few things happening, not in the dates I gave it, which is a bit annoying. But yeah, it was good. Liking what it was doing. This is on the paid version, but look, I got to the very bottom of this and I ran out of context window. So here's my Paris itinerary. Fantastic. I came back and I said, oh look, I spotted this Matisse exhibition on, can you drop this in? It did. And then I got down to the very bottom, and then it ran out of context window, and it said, I can't do any more for you, lady, you're done. Context length exceeded. I don't know what the context length is, but I kind of would have thought on a paid version it would have enough for me to just like plan my trip. It's not like I'm super needy or anything like that. It's not like I don't know Paris. So it's good, it did a good job, but my wonder was, would Perplexity, Deep Research or ChatGPT not do a better job? So I hopped over into Perplexity, gave it exactly the same prompt, and really quickly it came up with a more or less the same itinerary. I said, give it to me in a table. Had a few different things spaced out, had some nice ideas in there. What's on now in the Centre Georges Pompidou. So I got this, and I got it much quicker, and I got it for freer from Perplexity. Now let me have a little look at what ChatGPT Deep Research did. So I gave it the thing, it asked me a few questions, and then it took a rather long time to do this, I thought. So it's given me a very detailed and much richer itinerary. So tell me to go around Place du Tour, famous artist square, have your dinner in Montmartre. It's recommending restaurants and stuff like that, which is kind of cool. It's suggesting what I have for breakfast. Okay, I don't need that much detail, thank you so much. Centre Georges Pompidou, entries free. I think ChatGPT has done a really good job. It's given me an image in it as well. It's telling me what metros to take. So ChatGPT has done a really good job. And this kind of brings back to a conversation I was having with some friends on Friday, which is about, if we are going to use the term in a nice way of these are wrappers, okay, because I don't think they're full agents yet. Because to me, an agent is where I can give it a task and it'll do the whole task, and it isn't just a deep research task. It might be something about making video or images, which I'm going to show you in a moment. And we were saying, so who would be a third competitor? So you have like Manus and you have Genspark, and then I was kind of going, a third competitor would be ChatGPT itself, because consumer facing ChatGPT is trying to be everything. It is doing the images, it is doing the deep research, and I'm getting all of this for $20. So I'm still loving ChatGPT more than Genspark, but I'm loving the concept of Manus. Now, I just want to show you the reason why Genspark has kind of gone down negatively, in my opinion, is because one of the things it offers is video generation. And I went, okay, cool. Will you make a video based on my itinerary to Paris? And it said, yes, I will. Now, I wasn't able to remember my itinerary from before. Excuse me. So what I had to do was I had to ask it to create a video. I'm going to show you this now. And as you can see in this version of Paris, I gave it a brief. I wanted some very good sort of springtime stuff. I've got 2 Eiffel Towers, It doesn't really look like anything I would use either commercially or even just sharing with my family for fun. And this I had to sign up and say I am happy to pay more. So I had to pay extra credits for this. Is it good at making video? No, it's not yet. But then I don't think anything is great at making video. This is why we don't include text to video in our courses yet, because they're just not there yet. So then I said to myself, hey, maybe you can make me a really nice image. So I gave it a brief. I wanted an image of are we there yet? Are we there yet? Gave it a good prompt. It gave me some images, but as you can see, it's using Flux, and Flux is very handsy. So there's a weird looking hand image from Flux. Yeah, you can always tell it's Flux when there's a weird looking hand in it. Now, I did get an image I would use. That's kind of what I had in mind. Although in Ireland, at the time frame I specified, those cone types weren't available, but that's just me being pedantic. So it does give a nice little image. So I'll give it kind of like 5 out of 10 for that one. But really, my conclusion on Genspark and Manus versus ChatGPT or Perplexity, Deep Research, or all the tools you're already using is that if you're already a very frequent user of AI, you will know how to prompt Midjourney, for example, or ChatGPT to get a beautiful image out. You probably know not to go to Flux anymore. You probably know how to do a really good prompt on Deep Research that's going to give you the kind of result that I got on my itinerary from Manus. So I don't think they're actually going to be taking away just yet, but I do think they have potential. So like the little girl with the ice cream whose parents got it for her because they were sick of her saying, are we there yet? Are we there yet? In the car on the long journey. We are on the journey towards agents. I am quite excited by what they can do. I am excited about the fact that they can automate some of the processing and take away some of my manual tasks. I know that I'm still going to have to put my own human ingenuity into it, but right now they're not fully there yet. So what about you? Have you tried the paid version of Genspark or Manus? If you have, I'd love to know what you think. Let me know in the comments down below.